wanted to take a minute to show you how I set up my weekly to-do list. One of the things I've noted for all students, but especially students in distance learning or online classes, is that sometimes it's hard to keep up with what all is going on in your classes. And I've been using a planning method called a bullet journal for several years now. And I thought I might show this to you because it might be very helpful to you, especially for those of you who are struggling to keep yourselves organized in terms of class assignments. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times I'll get an email frantically a day or two, or sometimes even a week or two after assignment is due, from a student who says, I just forgot this assignment. And so hopefully I'm going to show this to you so that you will not forget any more assignments. So this is called a bullet journal. Of course, this idea is not original with me. The idea of a bullet journal was developed by a man named Ryder Carroll. And I am going to link his original bullet journal video down below in the comments section so you can go see the basics of what a bullet journal is. But it's basically a notebook. It can be any kind of notebook. You can use any kind of pen. That's the great thing about this. You don't need to go out and buy a fancy planner. You don't need to go out and buy a fancy notebook. You can use a composition book. You can use a notebook. I'm using, this notebook is a Leuchtturm 1917. I ordered it off Amazon. I don't think there's anywhere to buy it locally in Auburn. You can use a moleskin. I've also got, this is a practice notebook. I bought this for $5 at Michael's. Okay, you can buy good ones at Walmart. You can buy them at Target. You can get a notebook anywhere. I use a dot grid because it's just helpful to line it up. But you can get them lined. You can get them with a grid. You can get them blank. Whatever you like. That's one of the great things about a bullet journal, is that you don't have to spend a lot of money and you don't have to do a lot of preparation. Okay. And so this is my bullet journal that I've set up for 2020. I'm going to cover that up. Just several key parts that I want to explain to you. You need an index, and that's a table of contents at the beginning. So you can see, for example, I went in and I did a year at a glance. You don't have to do this. I just like to be able to see my whole year at a glance. And I drew this in and colored it in myself. But you know what? You can go print one off on your computer and glue it in, tape it in, whatever you want if you want one of these. Then a future log. And this is very important. And if you're interested, say so in the comments below. And I'll come back later and show you how to set up a future log that would be specifically geared toward keeping track of all your assignments in a semester. But I have a future log. So in other words, what I've just done is I've just created January, February, March, April, May, June. As a student, you can do it one semester at a time. This I do for a year. And I just write down all of the things I know that are coming up. And I haven't gone in and filled this out yet all the way. But for example, I've got all my January. I need to come in and do February. But it just helps me to know when birthdays are, when spring break is. I'll have spring break prominently featured here, and keeps me attuned with what's going on in my year. Then there are collections, and collections, according to Ryder Carroll, are just anything you want to keep track of. For example, Bloom's taxonomy. As a teacher, I'm always writing student learning objectives, so Bloom's taxonomy is very helpful for me to help me learn how to do this, because it's got all of the levels of learning and all of the good verbs that describe those levels. I refer to this a lot when I'm writing student learning objectives. I keep track of all of the birthdays, friends, family, things like that. Books I'm reading in a year. It's the first of the year, so I don't have anything in here yet. I'm working on it. This is my school event calendar. So I've got all of the important days in the academic calendar for the spring semester, so that I know, for example, when the first day of class is. The last day to add, January 14th. Midterm is February 27th. Spring break, March 19th through 13th. Last day of classes, April 24th. And over here, this is blank, but I'm going to set up all of my assignments over here as a tracker. And if you're interested, I'll show you how I do this, because this may help you set up all your assignments as well. And then I come in and I draw out a monthly calendar. And again, I just like to be able to see my month at a glance. You don't have to do this. In fact, Writer Carol, and I'll show you a practice one I set up. Writer Carol just does it where he just comes down and just numbers the dates. And so you could come in and this says June, but let's just pretend this is January 2020. So we know that classes begin on the 8th. Last day to add is the 14th. MLK Day, no classes. This is just a very easy way to do it. Very quick, very easy. And you don't have to fool with measuring things out. Again, I just like to be able to see a calendar view. I also do just some things for me. I do a 1 line a day, which is just sort of a mini journal. I track some habits. I track my moods. A content calendar for a website I have, an activity tracker. But then the key is my weekly layout. And this is what I want to show you today. So I have a weekly layout where I, on the left side of the paper, just keep a running task account of my task. And I have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And this little symbol is a forward symbol. So I write down each task. I put a dot by what date I want to do it on. And then if it carries over to the next week, it gets one of these little symbols. And over here, I write down all of my appointments, my events, or anything I need to make sure I do on that day. So this was last week. And you can see my focus for last week was new semester class prep. Had a lot going on last week. So now I'm coming to this week. And I wanted to show you how I set this up. So maybe you can use it to keep track of all of the things that you have to do each week. Normally I do this on Sunday nights. Today is Monday morning, but I'm intentionally doing this so I could show you this for the week. So for example, and I'm just gonna skirt this over here, I made a list of all of my class tasks for the week. All right. And so went on Canvas and looked at all of my due dates, all of the things. Now for me, since I'm a teacher, all of the things I need to grade, but for you, it would be all of the things that you need to make sure you do this week. So for example, and I have, let me show you this. I have a key system, and this is kind of key to using a bullet journal. A dot means a task. If I have a /, it means I've started the task. An X means the task is completed. A 0 is an event or an appointment. A star is a note. And then if I cross through anything like this, it means it's been canceled or rescheduled. So I'm going to come in and I'm looking at my task list, and I see, and I've broken this out by class. So for COM 3113 persuasion, I need to grade intro, discussion. I need to grade chapter 1, discussion. And so I'm going to mark these as task. And I'm going to do this first one today. And the chapter 1 discussion, I believe, is due Wednesday. So and I give them Thursday grace period. So I'm going to grade this one on Friday. All right. And right now that's all I need to do. No, there's something else I need to do for COM 113, and that's record the Chapter 2 intro and quiz. And I'm going to try to do that today. Then for COM 3510, this is another of my distance learning classes. I need to grade the goal setting exercise. Let's write 3510 here. Everyday ways of knowing, part 1, and everyday ways of knowing, part 2. And the goal setting exercise, I can go ahead, I'll grade that on Tuesday. Everyday way of knowing, part 1 is due Wednesday, so I can grade that Friday. And the part 2 is due Friday, so I can grade that on Sunday. Okay, and you can see how this goes. And I've got all of my other tasks. So for 3700, I need to, I think these are all tasks. Grade 3700 CP19, that's for last Tuesday. I'll do that. I usually like to do that in the mornings before classes. And grade 3700 CP for tomorrow, and I will do that on Thursday morning before class. All right, and that's all I need to do for 3700. For 3600, I need to go in and fix 19 quiz scores. For those that had a glitch, I can do that today. Then for 5600, I need to create millimeter quiz for our first class meeting. This class only meets once a week, so we haven't met yet. We meet tomorrow night. So I want to do that today. And then I need to finish adjusting my project dates in this class. I have them set up, but I don't like the way they work out, so I need to go in and fix them. But I will probably do that Wednesday after I talk to the class, Tuesday night, and then finish setting up the modules. Finish setting up my modules. That probably will happen maybe Wednesday too, after I talk to them on Tuesday night. So that gets me all of my tasks that I have to do in order to do all my work for my classes this week. Now, I've got some other miscellaneous items that are not class. I need to email copies of my syllabi for all of my classes to our department. I need to do that today. And then I need to write a law school letter of recommendation for a student. So I will do that Wednesday. To make a eye doctor appointment. It's the first of the year, so make all the appointments. So did the dentist last week, so the eye doctor is up next. I'll call him today. And then Wednesday is payday, so I need to pay some bills, and I will do that on Friday. Give myself the illusion of having a little money in my bank account for a couple of days. So that's essentially I've set up for the week. And then over here I've got all of my appointments and events and things like that. And I will add things throughout the week. This is just at the beginning of the week. This is just what I know is going to come up. but I will add more things to this throughout the week and be writing more things in here. Especially like I want to make sure I call the eye doctor today. So I'll go ahead and write that in on Monday. On Friday, I want to make sure I pay bills. Okay. That's all it does. This is very simple to set up. And again, you don't have to set yours up exactly this way, but I like this because I can see my task. I can see what days I want to get them done. And if, for example, let's say I don't grade my COM 3113 today, then tomorrow I'll come in and put another dot here, and when I finally finish it, then I can exit out. Okay. Or if I don't finish it, I can carry it forward, and I will come in here next week and I know to add that task to migrate it over to next week. So I'm just offering this to you as a way, if you're having a hard time trying to keep up with all of your assignments and forgetting things, try a bullet journal. And if you want to come talk to me about this more, if you want to come, see it in action, come by during my office hours. I'm sitting in Mel Hall from 10 to 12 on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Those are my regular office hours. I usually sit, on the third floor where where Mel and the library sort of meet up. If you come off the elevator on the third floor of the library and you're walking into Mel Hall, you see those high tables and those sort of booths right there. That's usually where I camp out. That's where I have my office hours. So come see me and I would be happy to show this to you. And if you want to bring a book and let me help you set it up, I'm happy to do that for you as well. Because I really want you to be able to succeed. And over again, I find so many students telling me they just forget something. They have just such a hard time keeping track of assignments. And if you've got 4, 5, 6 classes, that's understandable. I mean, I'm teaching 5 classes this semester, and it's hard for me to keep track of things. That's why I have to sit down and on Sunday nights, look at what I've got coming up in my week so I can try to make sure I get everything done. So if you get a notebook and you want to come by and I'll help you set yours up, I'm happy to do that. Because if you succeed, I succeed. And if you succeed, that makes me very, very happy. So try a bullet journal. And again, I'm going to link down below in the comments section, Ryder Carroll's original bullet journal. It's very short. It's about 5 minutes long, about what a bullet journal is, what it's about. It's a brilliant way to keep track of things. And you can sort of see how he sets his up. And then if you're interested in seeing more, if you would like to see me set up a semester future log with assignments, or if you'd like me to do a sort of plan with me, maybe on Sunday night I can do a Facebook Live where you can get your book and I'll get my book and we'll set up our weeks together. If you're interested in that, let me know in the comments down below. Happy to do that. And the great thing about this bullet journal is it's not useful for school, just for school. You can keep track of your personal life. You can keep track of fraternity or sorority or organization, any other things that you've got to keep track of in your life. And when you get out of here and go to work, it is a great way to organize and keep up with both professional and personal tasks. So that's a bullet journal in a nutshell. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.